Hey everybody, welcome back to LEGO Space. Today we're doing the update on the finished DeLorean. Um, kind of, I know in the last update I kind of went through some of the details that I did on the inside as far as moving some things around, moving the flux capacitor back one stud, doing some more detailing with the time circuits in there, and then of course the detailing on the back walls. You guys got to see that. Um, and then, so now we got the completed car, and I can talk a little bit more on what I did on the back end detail here, and kind of show you guys some of the struggles that I went through here. Um, of course, I wanted it to look nice. I wanted it to look detailed. Um, it's kind of hard to see, but you guys can look down in there and see I did use kind of those silver painted pieces down in there to kind of bring out a little bit more detail and just add a little bit more flashiness to it. And then something you guys saw in the last video was my struggle of getting the light brick working while still moving some things around and figuring some stuff out. Took me a couple nights to kind of get everything straight and working how I needed it to, fitting right, and a lot of figuring out on that stuff, but I'm pretty happy with how it came out. I'll just kind of give you guys a view of how everything looks real quick here. And if you guys hear some background noise, my wife's currently working on her Home Alone Lego set. That's pretty cool so far. So of course, we did the Back to the Future 2 version, so we got the futuristic license plate. We got the Mr. Fusion. I did throw a couple other items of trash in there. They provide this like half full cup in the set for like if you're doing the Back to the Future 3 version. They put it as a part that's on the hood. And then I had like a little donut piece that I threw in there. It's under there. So I just kind of threw some extra garbage in there, make it a little bit more fun. The Mr. Fusion itself is really cool. They did a great job on kind of making the detail for that. One thing that the Back to the Future 2 and 3 versions don't really include in the instructions for how the back end is with the Mr. Fusion is these hoses that originally come back on the first version. On the Back to the Future 1 version, they come back and kind of tie in back here. Those they just kind of leave as empty spots. Well, I still wanted a lot of detail in there, so I still managed to kind of snake those hoses down in there. They're not really hooked to anything underneath. I literally just snake them underneath some of these bigger hoses, and they're just kind of resting in there, but the way they're pinched, they kind of hold in place really nice, so we kind of got a little bit more detail in there. And then I'll show you guys my remedy for trying to get the light brick to light and still have this detail, since I didn't want the big push button that they originally include in the instructions. I wanted it to look a little bit better and still try to get this detail in here. And you guys can see down in there I have a little Technic piece. It's actually a 1x3 Technic piece, and I have it pinned right through the middle, the same red pin that's in the instructions to hold these lower hoses. I have this right in the middle, and literally I have it to where you can just hit it back, and we get the flux capacitor lighting up really nicely in there. It's super easy. It's really not that hard to get to. It's a little tight, but I mean, there's enough room to get your finger down in there. I also used kind of an angled 1x2 tile right here to kind of help my finger slide into that. And the part, of course, this part itself is smooth, and you guys can see the shine off of the light brick when you hit it back. I put a little 1x1 tile with a stem on it down there to kind of help that plunging mechanism to actuate a little bit nicer, and me not have to push it so far in this piece, not have to lean so far into the rest of this detail. So it took a little bit to figure all that out, and I'm pretty happy with it. I mean, it works really well. You just simply slip your finger down in there, hit it, lights it up really nice. You guys, show you the driver's side again. We did the foot pedals, all the back wall detail. Looks really well, or looks really good. I'm really happy with how all that came out. This is kind of a pain to open up, but you guys can see I got the plutonium box and the hoverboard in there. Not too much difference in there, but overall, really happy with how the car came out. Like I said, the back end, pretty much from the back wall on, that was my biggest struggle with the project, was to figure out how to move everything back, give me more room on the center console, and still get the light brick to fit and figure out a way to get it to work easily. Like I said, it took me quite a few hours, kind of like 3 or 4 nights, trying to piece things together, put stuff together, take it back apart if it didn't work. But in the end, I think we came up with a pretty good idea with all that. I kind of built up using this angled 1x2 tile here. I kind of built up a housing around that light brick, because that light brick does stick into this area, and then kind of use these silver painted curved tiles to kind of hide some of that. It still reflects back, not a big deal. Even on the non-modded version it does that, so not too worried about that. I'm really happy that it works how it should. You guys can kind of see the light brick down there. I mean, you're going to see it regardless, but did my best to hide the light shining through there. But yeah, this was a testing project, to say the least. A lot of it was kind of hard to figure out. Like I said, I kind of took some ideas from photos that somebody else had modded this, and some stuff I thought could be done a little bit better and look a little bit nicer. So of course, working off of photos, adding my own changes just took a while. And then some of you will remember that I changed a lot of the colors on the bottom so the handle's nice and dark, doesn't show through too bad. And let's see if I can do this one-handed. The wheels work really nice, so I was pretty happy with that. All the recoloring in there, all that stuff looks a lot better. The other two, I'm probably not going to worry about recoloring the bottom as much, just because they will be on the wheels all the time. Especially the first one, since the first one never had the flying mode on it. So overall, though, the car looks really cool. They did a really nice job with a lot of the details. Like I said, I just changed a few things. They had these as a 1x2 stud piece, and I put a 1x2 tile. I had the matching colors for that. Other than that, I did stay pretty true to the instructions, other than just the whole back end pretty much. All the rest of the stuff was just a lot of color change. Nothing too crazy, but yeah, the interior, the back wall, and the back were 2 or 3 really big hurdles that I had to jump over to get that done. And I had seen that on this little plaque here, they want you to build it to where the nameplate is off to one side, and then you have Marty and Doc Brown on this side, and there's kind of some conflict with their hands. There wasn't enough room. And instead of extending the piece, I decided to kind of even it out a little bit better, put the nameplate or the information plate in the middle, and then just have Doc Brown and Marty on each side. And that looks a little bit better. In my opinion, I like it. So this project is done. I took a lot of pictures while building it, so that way I can kind of go back and reference when I do the other two. And that'll kind of lead us into our next project. I am taking a little break from this project and working on another thing that I'll show you guys here. And then I got a couple Technic cars that I took apart to dust. And while taking them apart, I decided that I wanted to do modding on them. And that's the Porsche and the Bugatti. that I got quite a few years ago. I got those when they were brand new, first came out, and I liked them, and I had them together for quite a few years, and they got dusty, so I figured the only really good way to dust them was to completely disassemble them. You guys can see a lot of the Porsche parts sitting out right now. The rims are there, and then this tub right here has the Bugatti in it, the whole Bugatti all taken apart. A couple things left together, just some stuff that was unnecessary to take apart. Same thing with the Porsche. Some of the engine parts and brake calipers and that kind of stuff could be left together. But a lot of the frame and the body had come apart to dust it really well. And so my goal with these now is to build them better than the original instructions. So I am actually doing some mods off of the computer here. I went on Rebrick and found, see if I can show you guys here, so that way I don't get another thing here. And I actually went on YouTube to find this, information, and YouTube brought me to Rebrick. And you can see this is the one for the Bugatti. This is just kind of a parts list of some of the modding parts that I need and stuff like that. But Rebrick has all this information on there. Really nice and easy to find. So I kind of went off of that. And currently I have everything ready to go for the Porsche, and we've already got a little start on it, so I figured I'd go ahead and do an update for you guys before I get too far. And we'll update this Porsche project as I go along. There's significant modding in this Porsche. The body itself will be able to lift off of the frame easily, and the suspension components have kind of changed to kind of make the car a little bit more rigid. So you guys can see I'm just kind of working off of a PDF file of the instructions. These are free to get off of Rebrick. I think, let's see, go back to, hold on. Just give me a second here, guys. See if I can find the name of the guy that did the modding. Let's see if I can find it here. Okay, so again, so the modder is JB70. So go on Rebrick, find the Porsche, the 42056-1, and look that up, and you'll find the this guy, the JB70 modder for this. Really nice stuff, a lot of additions that I will kind of be showing off as we go along. Like I said, I'm just getting into it, so I'm only on the second page right now, so not too far. And you guys can kind of see where we're going here. So got all my parts laid out really nice, got everything dusted. I already got my extra parts that I needed for the modifications picked out. And so so you guys will be able to follow along with this project, and hopefully it'll come out pretty cool. I'm going to take my time. The instructions that are provided are a little different from Lego's instructions. You have to pay a little bit closer attention. He's got a parts list and everything, but nothing's highlighted like how it is on Lego, so no parts are highlighted, so you really got to pay attention to what parts you're picking from the list and where they're going. But yeah, it should be pretty cool, should be pretty fun. So hopefully you guys are excited to see some of this. We'll do the Porsche, and we'll do the Bugatti, and then we'll get back to the Back to the Future DeLoreans. So hopefully you guys are excited to see some of that, and until next time, take care.